So let's move on to our second appetizer, which is our stuffed mushroom caps. As we all know, the classical stuffed mushrooms are made with mushrooms stuffed with breadcrumbs, a little garlic, maybe some parsley, and then lots of butter. So we want to update that by getting rid of some of the calories and fat from the butter, so we're going to completely skip that. And we're just going to start with some cremini mushrooms. So creminis are great because they're really easy to work with. In order to get off the stems, all you have to do is twist. You're just going to twist and they pop right out. So it's super simple. If you feel like your creminis might be slightly dirty, you can always take a wet rag and then just lightly brush off the backs of them to clean off any remaining dirt that might have clung to them. So our stuffing is going to consist of a little bit of artichoke hearts, which I've already diced here. So we'll just toss those in. Some diced red pepper. These are actually roasted red peppers, so they're really sweet and gonna add a really great visual contrast to our stuffed mushroom caps. Now, of course, we gotta add a little bit of garlic here. So I would say, I don't know, a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon, depends on you. I like mine a little garlicky. We're gonna throw in our cheese. I have a great fontina cheese here. Fontina is a really nice Italian cheese that melts well and is going to do a great job of just gluing everything together and creating a nice creamy texture for our mushrooms. So to pop that in, I've already grated that. Nice and fresh. I'm going to throw in a little bit of fresh herbs. I've got a little bit of parsley and some minced basil. Yum. Always got to have the basil. And then from here, I'm just gonna add in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to kind of bind everything together. And I'm gonna do just a little drop of balsamic just to add that nice tanginess that's gonna contrast great with the cheese and all of the sweet vegetables. So we just want to mix that and fully combine everything. And then before we stuff our mushrooms, we just want to make sure we season this. So I have a little bit of cracked sea salt. I'm just going to toss that in, and a little bit of cracked black pepper. So now we're ready to go. We're just going to stuff our mushrooms and then plate them onto a cookie sheet. I personally love this combination, but if you happen to be a meat eater, a nice thing to do to kind of beef up these mushrooms is to pan fry a little bit of pancetta and then dice it up into little pieces and toss it into a similar mixture to this. It just adds a little bit more meatiness and heartiness to these mushrooms. So I'm just gonna go through and stuff each of these. You wanna make sure you really fill up your mushrooms. So that once they cook, because they're going to cook down and get a little bit smaller, that you really have a nice amount of that hearty filling. So I'm just going to finish stuffing all of these mushrooms and then pop them into my preheated oven at 400 degrees. We're going to leave them in there for about 20 minutes until they cook down and the cheese gets nice and melty, and then we're going to take them out and test them and see how we did. And they look like they're just ready to go. Ooh, you can see they've cooked down quite a bit. They're about half the size, and that filling is just bubbling over. They look great. So we've plated our mushrooms, which you can see all those colors make a great visual appeal. Now I think it's time that we taste them. Just gonna grab one right here, take a little bite. So good. So light. You guys are gonna love these. Try them at home.